heirs.
The Constitution guards the liberty of the people.
The Constitution guards the liberty of the people.
The best-known movie awards are the Academy Awards.
The best-known movie awards are the Academy Awards.
Excuse me, can you tell me the correct time?
Excuse me, can you tell me the correct time?
I pick up my sister from her school.
I pick up my sister from her school.
What's the typical farm product in this region?
What's the typical farm product in this region?
You are welcome to stay with us next time.
You are welcome to stay with us next time.
Have you cleared your luggage with customs?
Have you cleared your luggage with customs?
How many years have you been playing ping pong?
How many years have you been playing ping pong?
I wish I had told him the truth.
I wish I had told him the truth.
What were you doing this time last year?
What were you doing this time last year?
His voice echoed in the big empty hall.
His voice echoed in the big empty hall.
How much is the rent for a month?
How much is the rent for a month?
I've forgotten what he said his address was.
I've forgotten what he said his address was.
Would you mind mailing this letter for me?
Would you mind mailing this letter for me?
Then, I brush my teeth and comb my hair.
Then, I brush my teeth and comb my hair.
It is not so easy as you think.
It is not so easy as you think.
I leave the house at 8 a.m. each day.
I leave the house at 8 a.m. each day.
They celebrated his birthday with a dance party.
They celebrated his birthday with a dance party.
We have known each other for 6 years.
We have known each other for 6 years.
My grandma is 40 years older than me.
My grandma is 40 years older than me.
How many workshops are there in your factory?
How many workshops are there in your factory?
They were glad of the examination being over.
They were glad of the examination being over.
You really have an ear for pop music.
You really have an ear for pop music.
He always forgets to wash behind his ears.
He always forgets to wash behind his ears.
I don't know how to express my gratitude.
I don't know how to express my gratitude.
The whole class is in a heated discussion.
The whole class is in a heated discussion.
This is a rather old house. It needs painting.
This is a rather old house. It needs painting.
I don't know what his native language is.
I don't know what his native language is.
Social customs vary greatly from country to country.
Social customs vary greatly from country to country.
My brother gets up later than I do.
My brother gets up later than I do.
I buy some food on my way home.
I buy some food on my way home.
Do you want to airmail it or not?
Do you want to airmail it or not?
I'd like to pick seashells this afternoon.
I'd like to pick seashells this afternoon.
Betty and Susan are talking on the telephone.
Betty and Susan are talking on the telephone.
Would you please open the door for me?
Would you please open the door for me?
Do you want to change before the banquet?
Do you want to change before the banquet?
I am afraid that I'll have to go.
I am afraid that I'll have to go.
The bat together with the balls was stolen.
The bat together with the balls was stolen.
Can you finish your work ahead of time?
Can you finish your work ahead of time?
They plan to immigrate to Finland next year.
They plan to immigrate to Finland next year.
Many people have been out of work recently.
Many people have been out of work recently.
But I plan to weed the yard today.
But I plan to weed the yard today.
I was sick yesterday, but I'm better today.
I was sick yesterday, but I'm better today.
What time do you get up every day?
What time do you get up every day?
Well done. You are always doing a good job.
Well done. You are always doing a good job.
Please sum up what you said just now.
Please sum up what you said just now.
All of those men are friends of mine.
All of those men are friends of mine.
Would you mind closing the window for me?
Would you mind closing the window for me?
The letter X stands for an unknown number.
The letter X stands for an unknown number.
I get up at 6 o'clock every day.
I get up at 6 o'clock every day.
His words are strongly impressed on my memory.
His words are strongly impressed on my memory.
This area is noted for its rich soil.
This area is noted for its rich soil.
Do you plan to do some odd jobs?
Do you plan to do some odd jobs?
You may pick whichever one you like best.
You may pick whichever one you like best.
I saw him playing football on the playground.
I saw him playing football on the playground.
What do you plan to do this Friday?
What do you plan to do this Friday?
Here we are. Row M, seats L and 3.
Here we are. Row M, seats L and 3.
The clerk helped me find what I wanted.
The clerk helped me find what I wanted.
The doctor advised me to give up smoking.
The doctor advised me to give up smoking.
When you called me, I was eating dinner.
When you called me, I was eating dinner.
They had expected me to go with them.
They had expected me to go with them.
Can I pay by check or credit card?
Can I pay by check or credit card?
I learned that I had passed the test.
I learned that I had passed the test.
Were there any letters for me this morning?
Were there any letters for me this morning?
Do you have change for a $20 bill?
Do you have change for a $20 bill?
What's wrong with you? What's the matter? Is anything wrong?
What's wrong with you? What's the matter? Is anything wrong?
To tell the truth, I don't like disco.
To tell the truth, I don't like disco.
Traveler's checks are very convenient for long-distance travel.
Traveler's checks are very convenient for long-distance travel.
I'm anxious to know what your decision is.
I'm anxious to know what your decision is.
What did you do the week before last?
What did you do the week before last?
He is a manager of a famous corporation.
He is a manager of a famous corporation.
Mary gave birth to a baby last week.
Mary gave birth to a baby last week.
There are lots of huge buildings in Beijing.
There are lots of huge buildings in Beijing.
You'll save time not waiting for the elevator.
You'll save time not waiting for the elevator.
I go to school by bike every day.
I go to school by bike every day.
You'd better put on your jacket. It's cold outside.
You'd better put on your jacket. It's cold outside.
I count you as one of my friends.
I count you as one of my friends.
An old man rented the big white house.
An old man rented the big white house.
Please give my best regards to your family.
Please give my best regards to your family.
I had lunch with a friend of mine.
I had lunch with a friend of mine.
He does exercises every day in the morning.
He does exercises every day in the morning.
Were there any exciting incidents during your journey?
Were there any exciting incidents during your journey?
I was in the hospital for several weeks.
I was in the hospital for several weeks.
Let me tell you some details about clearance.
Let me tell you some details about clearance.
I won't be able to see him today.
I won't be able to see him today.
He had to choose between death and dishonor.
He had to choose between death and dishonor.
What is worth doing is worth doing well.
What is worth doing is worth doing well.
I have to catch a plane. Could you hurry?
I have to catch a plane. Could you hurry?
Did you used to go fishing with friends?
Did you used to go fishing with friends?
The grass is moist early in the morning.
The grass is moist early in the morning.
It's the hottest day I've had so far.
It's the hottest day I've had so far.
It's odd that they didn't reply our letter.
It's odd that they didn't reply our letter.
I'd like to talk with Mr. John or Mr. Smith.
I'd like to talk with Mr. John or Mr. Smith.
He was married to a friend of mine.
He was married to a friend of mine.
Don't give me your excuses. No more excuses.
Don't give me your excuses. No more excuses.
They stopped talking when their boss came in.
They stopped talking when their boss came in.
She sang perfectly in the hall last night.
She sang perfectly in the hall last night.
I have a dog, but it's very quiet.
I have a dog, but it's very quiet.
Make me a cup of coffee, will you?
Make me a cup of coffee, will you?
I go out for lunch at about 12:30.
I go out for lunch at about 12:30.
As a senior, Peter is writing his thesis.
As a senior, Peter is writing his thesis.
Could you drop me off at the airport?
Could you drop me off at the airport?
Unlike her friends, she never gave up hope.
Unlike her friends, she never gave up hope.
Take 2 pills and have a good rest.
Take 2 pills and have a good rest.
How about Mary? How long has she lived there?
How about Mary? How long has she lived there?
Our school is in the east of Beijing.
Our school is in the east of Beijing.
The police are not allowed to accept rewards.
The police are not allowed to accept rewards.
When is the most convenient time for you?
When is the most convenient time for you?
You will soon get used to the work.
You will soon get used to the work.
What is the color of your new book?
What is the color of your new book?
Sigh, I'm so hungry. Can I have a bite?
Sigh, I'm so hungry. Can I have a bite?
What do you think of my new car?
What do you think of my new car?
I have received a letter from my cousin.
I have received a letter from my cousin.
They've been married for quite a few years.
They've been married for quite a few years.
Are you looking for a permanent position?
Are you looking for a permanent position?
The dress doesn't fit her. She is too thin.
The dress doesn't fit her. She is too thin.
May I have a look at the watch?
May I have a look at the watch?
You should have a mind of your own.
You should have a mind of your own.
How can I get in touch with you?
How can I get in touch with you?
Can you tell me where Peach Street is?
Can you tell me where Peach Street is?
The ice is hard enough to skate on.
The ice is hard enough to skate on.
We can't go out because of the rain.
We can't go out because of the rain.
He was appointed president of the committee recently.
He was appointed president of the committee recently.
She goes to work every day except Sunday.
She goes to work every day except Sunday.
But who will do all the housework?
But who will do all the housework?
Excuse me.